Welcome to Shadow Empire Playthrough Part 5. If you are new to the series, please check link to the playlist in the description. Thank you for your comments and suggestions. So let's go through the most interesting ones. One person commented the unsuccessful fight of walkers. So he wrote that probably the guys who were assigned to pilot the walkers were simply drunk. And this gave me an idea to ask my security guys to check the recordings from the combat. And you can see a lot of bottles, and they are riding on the robot like on the horse. No wonder why they couldn't effectively use this robot. Thank you for this comment. All responsible soldiers were already executed. Another person noticed that keeping over 6,000 recruits in SHQ is ineffective because they are eating food. You can see that recruits consumed 65 food, and I thought that okay, food maybe is not the biggest problem currently, and I need them for my next OHQ, but the reality with current industrial points is that I will not be able to build another SHQ soon. So keeping them longer is quite ineffective, not only because of the food, but also they are doing nothing. And they could do what? They could work in the private economy and work in the factories and produce industrial points, credits, and bureaucratic points. Because if you go to the report and zones, you can see that each round, by service tax, we are collecting not only credits from private economy, but also 59 industrial points and 26 bureaucratic points. So I wonder if they could return back to the private economy, if those numbers would grow. We can do such experiment because I am not sure if only the currently working population is contributing to the service tax or everyone in private sector. So we can do such experiment. And I will show you something interesting currently. So please notice that I have 0 colonists and 6,500 recruits. And if I will use the colonize button on a zone where I have SHQ, I cannot send colonists because I don't have any, but I can disband my recruits. So this option is if you, from whatever reason, have too many recruits and you would like to return them to the population. So let's do this. So now I will keep 500 and 6,000 will return to the population. We'll see next round if the numbers will change. And the idea is that we should get recruits as fast as possible when we need them, instead of keeping them all the time and then they are doing nothing. So let's do this experiment. And you can see they disappeared here and they appeared here. So our population now is bigger. Thank you for this comment. And additionally, we'll go to our governor and give order to reduce the amount of recruits that we are hiring to, let's say, 300 per round. Also, you notice that our credits are much lower because we have spendings and we already invested and budgeted 500 last round. So now let's do some savings and decrease it to 15 and confirm orders. Another person suggested that if we want to have more quality of life buildings, we could try to scrap some stratagems that we don't need. So if we go here to the scrap mode, and if we'll have 15 scrap points, we can hope for some card that will give us a quality of life building. And it's true, but it's quite random. So, and I don't have too many useless cards. Maybe open contact, but please remember that open contact, you should always keep one of those cards in your deck, because this card is the starting point in the hierarchy of diplomatic cards, and without this card, you will produce half of the possible diplomatic cards. So this card should always be present in your deck. Currently, the options to propose peace are quite limited, so maybe one will be removed. Offer protection, probably also. No chance for big diplomacy currently in this game. And for leaders, those are important cards. And here I could scrap one of those, but let's keep it. Let's keep it. So we have 4 scrap points. Thanks for this comment, but we cannot do more this round. So another person suggested that we could upgrade this asset, so the recycling facility, to level 2. Currently we have level 1, we produce 40 metal, but we could produce 80 metal. But the cost is 2 rounds of 135 industrial points, so 270 industrial points at all. And the benefit is only the speed of the extraction of metal. So what we should do? Should we invest more into metal, or we should go and try to have in the construct industry our industry? Because you can see that the cost of industrial points for the industry is similar to the recycling facility. So 180 industrial points more, but this is industry, guys. And for metal, I already have 800. So let's say 1.5 rounds of production for industry. But then we will stack with metal and we produce 100. So for 8 rounds, we will be stuck with building industry slower. And in 2 rounds, we can build the recycling facility. But with current industrial points, it will be quite problematic. So let's wait until we have more industrial points. Interesting comment, and we need to consider this option. There was one comment, what happens to soldiers who capitulate during the fight? Well, they simply die. But if we will check the roadmap for Shadow Empire, we can see that after the Republika DLC, there is something mentioned about POW, so prisoners of war. So maybe there will be some mechanic regarding to capitulation, and maybe they will appear as a kind of resource, same as soldiers or recruits or colonists. Who knows? Interesting. There were many questions, so let's check few more. There was question, what happens if the GR unit will die? Well, then they simply disappear and we need to cry. That's why I like to attack and support them with other even weak units, because then enemy has more targets to shoot at. So then we are not the only one target during the fight. But sometimes even the powerful unit can die, so we can do nothing. There was another suggestion to not reduce the prospecting, because if you go to the Economic Council, you probably notice that I reduced the prospecting to 1%, and the suggestion was that we should keep higher percentage here because we are expanding. So each round we are gaining some land, so maybe it's worth to keep more percentage here. My point was that if you go to the overviews and prospecting overview, you can see that currently there is 0 zones where we think we could still discover the deposits. That's why I reduced this, and if this message will change, then I will for sure increase the prospecting. But still, the governor each round is doing the prospecting. So if we go to his skills, you can see that he's doing prospecting, find chance each round, and is testing his prospecting skill. Another person commented that it's a shame that the field testing is going to the units that I will replace in the future, because you remember I mentioned that in the design section, their structural design is 91, so it's not the best one, below the average. So why we are gaining the field testing if probably we will design new models. But I will not design new model because they are too expensive. So I would like to keep them and evolve a bit until the cost of the new version will be equal to the brand new version. Then I will consider doing maybe a new one, but 94, 91, it's not something really terrible. So we'll think of it when we'll have more bureaucratic points and more options. So thanks for this comment. And the last comment in our Q&A session was simply that it's easy to get lost in the amount of decisions and options, and sometimes we rush into something that happened here in the history mode, and then we rush to do something, or we do some decision, but later there is another decision that simply make the previous one non-optimal. So the suggestion was that first, before doing any decisions or any major actions, we should get the proper context. So first we should read some reports, read all available decisions that we have, check what happened in the history, recognize as much of the context as we can, and then do the decisions wisely. So thank you for this comment, and let's play. So for sure, we need to fix our mistake that we did here. So we started ice mine community to prevent private economy to build their own ice mine community. I think it was a mistake because then we lost 70 industrial points on building this road. I simply missed that. So, now we need to fix our mistakes. I don't want to build this asset currently, so I will simply cancel the construction. Some metal and industrial points were recovered, and we'll see what the private economy will do. I really wonder because they already have enough money to buy something, and they scheduled ice mine community, but we built ice mine community. I wonder what they will do next round. This is very interesting. But I don't want to continue this asset because it will be too expensive currently, and we have plenty of water. So let's check our decisions. We can see that militia needs extra funds. Please notice the relation of our secretary. Somebody also mentioned that this is too low. I wonder what is the real impact of relation of secretary, because some people say that you shouldn't really care of the skills, and the best is simply to have secretary to be aligned with our values, with our profile, and be loyal. We can test it if she will be doing some stupid things. But currently we need 350 credits to increase the militia profile, so our 60 will increase to 68, and this is good because some of our leaders like militia, like this guy 2 pluses. He really likes this profile, and this guy also really likes, and our interior council likes. So you can see it's worth to increase the militia in our regime, but it's expensive. So from where we can get the money? We don't have enough money. We can sell something, but what we should sell? And I will show you something interesting now. If you go to stats and in the regime statistics, on the bottom there is capital price index report. And here you can see how the prices for each resources were changing on the market over time. And you can see that this blue one is quite expensive and is fluctuating. So 2 runs before I could sell this resource and I could get much more money than now. But even now I will get much more than during the first round. So here we can filter it, and you can see that the price of the oil is growing. So maybe I can sell some oil to get good amount of credits because the price is currently quite nice. And this is only the index. This is not the cost of the oil, but this is the relative index across all market. So it's good to check this report, probably each round, if you are going to sell something, and wait for this moment like here. So let's trade and sell some fuel. We can sell 137, so we get some money. For now, we don't need fuel, and we have still 1000, and now we can do the decision. The option B would really damage our relation, so we need to really do this decision. So we are giving extra funds for the militia. Guys, enjoy, but don't drink too much. Okay, if we go now to the manage technologies, you can see that we have discovered some military technologies, and one of them is padded and suit. So I would like to research it, and then we will have automatic rifle and padded and suit, and then we will build another model that will use those 2 technologies. Of course, I could build first one with automatic rifle and then another one with padded, but you know that each iteration of model is more expensive than the previous one. So better if we can in short time accumulate some technologies together, then better to do it because it's more effective. So let's call our military research council. I like to use the organizations tab because here we can see all available organizations. I go to military, I see what they are doing. Let's call him, and here we have option to research something for 1 political power. Copy that. And list of the yellow technologies, so those that we discovered. And that will be our choice. Copy that. Let's do it. So let's check what is happening across other organizations. Here we can see that we have 40%, but Interior Council is carrying off the HR, and the postures that we are producing are quite weak because currently if we go to Stratagem generation, you can see that we have only 3 possible postures, so we need Staff Council to produce more interesting ones. I would invest more into political power. So because the cards are not really interesting, I would put 85% maybe to political power. Also, if we are browsing the cards, I notice that we are spending quite a lot with bureaucratic points for interior policies. But here there are not really important cards for us currently, and the important card is here, the improvised industrial point, and those cards. So I think the interior policies can be reduced, because if we go to the interior council, you can see that we are really spending a lot for the interior policies, but we could redirect this to the human resources because we need better cards and bonuses. So I need to change the priorities and do it a bit differently. So lock those two and reduce this one, I think even to 15%. So we'll be focusing on the relations with our leaders. Also, we will be able to dismiss some leaders and hire better leaders. So do it. So let's check what the model design is doing. Model Design Council is designing new light tank model. Probably I will assign advisor to help him develop better tanks. So go to our cabinet and our advisor attached to our Model Design Council. But we need to really increase the relation with him. It will grow. There is small friction with advisor, but it should improve over time because the natural relation point is 90 and the relation grows to the natural relation point or decrease. But Supreme is really sad and it's bad because relation is here very important for us. Let's check if we can give him some stratagems. Sadly, we don't have any bonus and stuff like that. We have commercial gift, but we don't have money to give him. That's why the Interior Council should really generate more HR cards. And let's check our spendings. So last round we had a lot of spendings. We need to check salaries. So 46 and 30, so 70 something. So and 15 budget. So we need to have more than 100 at the end of the round to avoid problems. So I need to sell probably some rare metals also. Let's sell everything. So we have some money. And check our soldiers. Here, move to the border. So let's move the units to the south. We will go further. Even here. And this guy here. So we somehow surrounded them. We'll see what they will do. Here we are standing and protecting our borders. You can see that now, because of this road, we have better range, so we can move a bit. And here, you will remember we couldn't expand the border, so let's check what is there. Nothing is there because we cannot expand the border because we are too weak. That's why. This guy needs to stay here. Here we need to protect our borders. No other option. We can expand a bit. Why not? Maybe some resources can be found. And here we need to finalize our operation. So our great robots will attack and we will support them with some militia unit. So let's do it.
Do it now! Objective lost.
And you can see, you ask me what will happen if the robot will die. Militia couldn't learn anything from this lesson. This was too advanced equipment for them. We can check in the details what happened. So in the first round, our unit was counter-attacked by an enemy. We don't know what was their role, but our defensive score was 317. But you know, this is a number that is used for the roll. So we can roll from 0 to 317. So maybe our roll was very low and their roll was simply higher. And they score a hit. And then after the hit, the game check what is the result of the hit. And there is some percentage that we can have a kill. And it happened. So you can see even a strong unit can be killed in action. And they are still here. That's funny. We can check their stats. So they should protect using the hard defense. So they have 43. So it looks like we were really unlucky because this was probably their value that they used to attack us during the fight. Okay, but you know what? The robot was consuming a lot of ammo. So now it will not consume any longer. How they are standing? 25 readiness. Probably we need to have somebody who will help with those guys because it's going really bad. So let's attack once again.
Do it! Do it now! Objective lost!
And they are holding the line. They need to have some superhero soldiers there. Or our militia simply need to stop drinking vodka. Oh, I noticed this unit is hungry because they are out of supply. Not good. I thought that we will solve this situation and it's worse and worse. Okay, never mind. Such things happens, yeah? This is war. Can we play any... So let's play next round. Nothing special happened, but I noticed some movement on north. Official gift can be useful, and here there was some movement. You can check it in the history. You can see here there was some movement. So 2 units are there. I hope not as strong as this one. So guys, can you finally deal with them or you cannot? No, you cannot because you don't have fuel, you don't have ammunition. We need to move back this unit. Bad situation, guys. Very bad situation. So letting militia to deal with nomads is not the best decision. Our regular soldiers could deal with them, but I thought that the robot maybe will do it. So we will need to fix the situation on north, but on the south we have more space. So let's continue the exploration because we need to finally find metal. We will see if close to the mountains there will be anything. This unit need to help here and they need to somehow replenish the ammo. That's why here there was a movement, so probably they will try to take our land or this hex next round. Those guys need to resupply. Here we need to prepare for attack. The weaker units will be on the flanks to do some recon. This stronger unit closer to the enemies. This militia maybe here. And our headquarters. I keep the headquarters behind the units, but still the leader can die in the fight. But if there is no direct fight, the probability is lower. Probably they will go south instead of stay here because it's dangerous for them. Here we can move this militia to check if they have more units and make some pressure on those guys. So we need to fill the gap, move here, and this unit here. So we make a pressure on them. Those guys can explore the land, but they only have weak zone of control. So let's continue. I need to take the desert land and go back. Maybe no, I will stay here. Do we have ammo? No. So I can go back to resupply. And this unit have ammo. We can go here. Oh, more enemies. I hope nobody is here. We'll see what they will do. Okay, we can see more green triangles, so our food is really restoring after moving the recruits to the population. And let's check what was the effect on our economy. So if we go to the zones, well, you can see 65 industrial points, and previously we had 59. and 29 bureaucratic points. And previously we had 26 and now we have 29. So we have 6 more industrial points and 3 more bureaucratic points. So maybe it was worth it. Let's check also the decisions. Before we'll do any actions, let's double check other decisions. So here managers wants own mess. So the bosses do not want to eat with the workers. They want their own room to eat in. Interesting. But you can see those guys likes it, our guys don't like it. So the option based on the relations of the people that we care will be B because our faction leader likes it, other person from faction likes it, and hard plus 10. Probably no other choice currently for this action. And let's check others. This is only the priority for military. We can increase the priority to nearly 99%.
Copy that.
And here option B
Copy that.
to make our important people happy. And the last is a kind of incident with an over-ambitious leader. This is economic council. We can support him or disciplinate him. Feast profile is not important for us. It will even decrease. If we will increase his relation by supporting him, we will increase unrest by 12. I will support this leader because I don't like to make him decrease the relation and we need to deal with the unrest somehow. So I will support my people.
Roger that.
So here we have the unrest. We'll see how we will deal with the unrest. Probably it would be good to have some unit here to deal with the unrest because then the unrest is diminishing faster if you have proper security. But here you can see our quality of life increased and now we have 5, but the demand was to increase to 7 and 2 rounds left. So probably we will not manage, sadly. So we can expect that our war score will decrease. Somehow they couldn't build anything and they have a lot of funds. Maybe they are collecting for something that is worth 1000. We'll see. So let's check our organizations and you can see Model Design Council built 99% of tank design. Why not 100? We have 2 more bureaucratic points and this round we would have the tank design. But that's why the relation is important. So we need to wait 1 more round. Military is working on the better armor, economic on the university, but it's going quite slowly because we have small relation bonus. We need to fix this guy. Do we have any? We don't have any card to recruit junior, but we have official gift. So maybe we can give him that gift, but I wonder if it would be better to give the gift to the Model Design Council to improve his roles next round when he will finish the tanks. In general, his relation should increase, but we can boost it by this official gift. But this is quite difficult for our interior council, so probably we can expect only limited result. Let's do it.
Copy that.
Critical failure, nothing changed, and we have lost 200 credits. So in the decision archive, you can see that the difficulty was 100 and we rolled 46. If you roll below the 50, then it's critical failure. So 5 points more and we would have a normal failure and then half of the effect will be applied. So guys, a lot of unfortunate rolls this round, which is not good, So maybe double check the urgent issues. 90 credits negative cash flow. We have some logistical problems, but we still have the private transport hub. Probably the 200 credits could be invested more by waiting a bit and having the normal public one, but we have lost the money. Okay, so let's play next round. No fights this round. Oh, we have a war. Vossoli's territory. Finally, we have developed a new model of light tank. Faction gave us a war games stratagem because factions can give us stratagems. Yeah, I know industrial points are important and unrest, but the unrest is you can see diminished by 5 points because our people are, where is it? Here, loyal, 100 loyalty, so it's decreasing quite fast even without soldiers on the streets. But here you can see The borders change the color to red, which means now we have status war, but this is expected. This is what we wanted. So I will keep here the militia, but this unit will move, but maybe here, because it's quite weak. This unit here, and we need to advance. Those guys will help. Maybe let's check those guys here, here, and the militia here to check if someone is there, and there is one guy. So we have a front line currently, our OHQ unit, because you can click on this unit. No, they are still in 100 HQ power, so all good. So here we can also come a bit closer. We'll see what they will do. I would rather block their access to our capital and move those units a bit closer here. But here we need to block those guys. And move more units, because we don't know if they will not go here. Those guys are out of supply, so let's go and resupply. Maybe here, and next round they will continue some expansion. Here, this is suspicious. Let's check. They are here, so we need to somehow block them. And those guys are retreating. We have lost this hex, but we cannot deal with them alone. We need to resupply and think. Probably we need to wait for our tanks. So let's check our tanks then. How the model looks like. We go to the design. So the structural design is 103, so it's above the average. Engine very weak. Weapon is okay, and armor is okay. Could be better, but could be also worse. So currently in the attack we would have 318 for soft targets. The first number with the I is defense against infantry. So with the technology side skills, we would have better protection against infantry. But can we build any tanks? We can, and we will do it. Or maybe we could build industry. So in case of industry, it would look like that. Or we can upgrade a recycling facility to have more metal and then build industry or tank. Guys, this is question that you can help me with. Please write in the comments. And in the meantime, I will do less dramatic decisions. So I will check maybe what are the prices in the market. You can see that when I sold a lot of oil, the prices decreased. And currently metal is growing, the price of the metal, and the rare metal is quite stable. So let's go to the decisions. We have two decisions, one organizational. So now we have only medium tank that can be discovered, or we can design some models and unlock other types. If I will design artillery, then I can unlock anti-tank gun and mechanized artillery. But for now, I will still focus on discovery. Maybe the medium tank will be discovered. Why not? So no new orders. And there is a promotion, so we can choose commerce or hard. I would choose commerce, because if we go to profiles, I don't want to increase hard too much, because maybe mind would be an option sooner or later, we'll see. And commerce will be important when I would like to play the stratagem card and the improvised industrial points, because it's also depending on the commerce profile, but I don't have 500 credits. So let's go to the model design and detach the advisor.
Roger that.
Check the dashboard. Sadly, we still cannot increase civilization level, so we have score 5, quality of life 4, even diminished. So next round we'll be not able to reach the goal, sadly. Check prospecting. Oh, there is one zone where we think we can still discover deposits. So if we know that there is something, I can call the Economic Council and change the priorities to increase also prospecting. So lock those and increase prospecting, but to about 16%. Maybe we can, I don't want to decrease the research, maybe even 20%. Okay.
Roger that.
So we will have higher chance to find anything under the ground. I would like to sell a bit of rare metals, but not too much, maybe 20, to have a bit more money. And here on north, we cannot do much. We need to even move back the trucks to refuel. And those guys, they need ammo, but we need to somehow protect this part. Maybe I can go here in the meantime and extend the border a bit. And our machine guns should be probably enough to keep them in one place. We'll see. Okay, so the final decision is, before I play next round, should I build recycling facility, factory, or unit of tanks to deal with those guys or help with this war with minor regime? This is the question, and I need to think about it more. But of course, your comments will help a lot. So please share any suggestions, observations, and questions, and see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.